Good afternoon and welcome to the 1 p.m. news bulletin right here on Younib TV. I'm Cliffe Omondi filling in for Joseph Kamau, and as always, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Now, Younib TV News at 1 starts with the highlights.
Was severe head injuries due to a single gunshot. The brain is quite disturbed.
The reason of switching off was within the parameters of the watershed.
Lead from the front. Because I have a job to do.
All right, welcome. Now, after post-mortem revealed that Boniface Kariuki, a mask vendor shot during last month's protest in Nairobi, died from a bullet wound to the head, his family is now calling for justice. Charges against the involved police officer have been upgraded to murder after Kariuki passed away last week while receiving treatment at the Kenyatta National Hospital here in Nairobi.
The cause of death was severe head injuries due to a single gunshot. The brain is quite disturbed, and the chances of survival are very minimal. The operation which had been done, I think, to remove the bullet particles, they did, but some of them there were still some particles in the brain. I don't know how many they had removed, and they are small and black, so they may not have been able to remove all of them. And I think they went back because I think maybe they saw some remnants of the bullet particles.
Alisema iko ndani sana, tukiguza ataaga. Lakini saa after kuambiwa hivyo, tulikaa siku moja, tukaambiwa saa tena fikra nayo imeaga. Wakati wakili wetu alifika pale, ilibidi sasa tuwaambie jaji ya kwamba sasa kesi imebadilika, sasa si maslini, si ile vita, sasa imekuwa mada. So tumeacha wakili wakifanya mabadiliko ya file, sasa kesi ibadilike sasa kuwa mada. Sasa tunapanga venye tutahamisha mwili, tuitoe huku, tuipeleke KU Thika Road.
If indeed the instructions come from above, like we have been hearing, we want to see the above, so that above can come and tell Kenyans which part of the constitution they are reading from that allows them to kill Kenyans.
And now switching gears, President William Ruto has vowed to stick to the choices his administration has taken for the nation's advancement. Speaking to Kenyans at the Presidential Diaspora Town Hall in London, President Ruto declared that he is prepared to make difficult decisions in order to advance the nation and that he will not pay attention to those who, according to him, have criticized him for the numerous choices he has made during his first term.
I promise that I will lead from the front. I want to tell you, I will lead from the front. Because I have a job to do. I told you, it's not always that you get an opportunity to be president. And it is my responsibility to make a difference. Tough as the choices are, difficult as the decisions are, I will make those decisions so that we can move the country forward. Many people tell me, oh, you know, you should not have made too many difficult decisions in your first term. You should have waited so that you can do them in your second term. My friends, if I can do it in 5 years, why do I need to wait for 10 years? These decisions we've always postponed. Somebody has to make these decisions. I have decided that I am the person to make these decisions for Kenya.
It is easier to make the easy decisions, but it is harder to make the decisions that have an impact.
In the last 2 years, ever since we streamlined that space, how many Kenyans have we placed there, Rosalie? 400,000 Kenyans. You know, when I say this, people cannot fathom. They can't believe it. But that's the reality. And the statistics are there.
And on to politics. Rigathi Gachagua is leading the opposition leaders on a 2-day campaign tour of Western Kenya. The tour is a component of an expanding nationwide initiative to mobilize public support and address what they refer to as the nation's liberation cause. Key opposition figures have joined Gachagua, including Eugene Wamalwa of the Democratic Action Party of Kenya, or DAPK, Kalonzo Musyoka of the Wiper Party, former Attorney General Justin Muturi, and former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i.
Cousins high. Nyinyi mnampatia kura, anatoa fujo, anaitwa, anaingia serikali, anawacha nyinyi kwa mataa. Sasa mimi nimefukuza Ruto pale kwa mlima. Nimefunga mlima, kifunguo iko hapa kwa gari.
Mimi na Rigiji tulikuwa namba 2, sio? Na sisi tukishikana si wataenda nyumbani. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Kwa hivyo mkae ngumu. Tuko pamoja.
Sisi tumekosana na William Ruto kwa sababu ile mkataba ambaye tuliandikishana naye kama watu wa mkoa wa Magharibi amekataa.
Mumejua ile kazi tumefanya mbeleni hapo ya kusafisha elimu Kenya hii na mambo mengine mengi. Hii kazi tunataka tupewe. Hawa kazi imewashinda, itawashinda. Wakati wanatuongelesha, wanatukosoa kama serikali, wasikize. Lakini Kasongo akasema nitawajua. Watanijua wao wenyewe.
Lazima tuangalie watu ambao wanakuja kutufanyia kazi. Tumeelewana? Hatutaki viongozi ambao wakati serikali inasema kwamba watu wapigwe marisasi wananyamaza, hawaongei.
And now, away from that, in the face of complaints, ICT Cabinet Secretary William Kabogo recently defended the closure of 4 national TV stations to shield children from harmful programming. He claims that the proposed 2025 Media Code of Conduct will provide clear guidelines to prevent shutdowns in the near future and ensure moral media coverage. Kabogo claims that although the demonstrations began amicably, it intensified in the afternoon, leading the Communications Authority to step in on the advice of experts.
Jamila Yesho, Deputy Registrar.
The main reason of switching off was within the parameters of the watershed period. There was a lot of violence being aired on national TV. And that violence, in my mind, within what we have said, was being aired when children and such like persons were watching TV.
There needs to be a standard way that is benchmarked either in the acts or in some regulations. When and under what circumstances is it considered a risk to the public, to persons and individuals to live stream, and when does it offend media freedom?
Remember, AI is a recent thing. The old code is 13 years old. AI is a recent thing, and the use of technology has emerged to do graphics, to modify images and all that. This is we are trying to remind the media and journalists that the ethics in general practice apply even when you're using technology.
All right, we now take a short break right here at Younib TV News at 1. Remember, we still have a lot lined up for you this afternoon, so please don't go far. All right, welcome back. You are watching Younib TV News at 1. Now, legislators have been urged by the First Lady Rachael to increase funding in order to maintain the school food program in all public elementary schools nationwide. The First Lady stated that the initiative's goal is to provide students with nutritious milk in addition to keeping them in school, as she spoke at the opening of the milk distribution program at the Kachororoni Primary School in Ganze constituency, Cliffe County.
Our mission at Feed One End Hunger is centered around empowering schools to cultivate and produce their own food sustainably, creating an independent relationship between education and nutrition.
Milk is more than just nourishment. It is a symbol of care, a tool for retention in schools, and a catalyst for cognitive development. Through this program, we aim to enhance school attendance, alleviate malnutrition, and support local dairy farmers by establishing a sustainable market.
Tuchiachie hii kazi ya kupatia watoto maziwa na chakula mama taifa peke yake. Wacha kila mtu tushikane, tujaribu kumsaidia. Na sana sana mheshimiwa wetu pale bungeni, oneni vile mnaweza support First Lady ndio hii programu yake iende national, iende shule zote.
Mimi nataka nikuhakikishie kwamba hizi programs ambazo umezianzisha, mimi nikiwa mbunge ndani ya serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, nitakuwa mstari wa mbele kuhakikisha kwamba ikifika wakati unataka push ya bunge letu kuhakikisha kwamba program kama hizi zinaendelea, sisi tuko pale bunge na tutaunga mkono programs kama hizi.
And now to Isiolo County, members of the Isiolo County Assembly have expressed concern over purported threats on their lives and have accused Governor Abdi Guyo of intimidating and attacking them with hired guns. According to reports, some MCAs have fled in fear for their safety. Take a look.
Over the past 3 weeks, 16 out of 18 MCAs, including the 8 elected representatives of the people, have been forced into hiding, fearing for their safety. They are being hunted down like fugitives by goons allegedly hired by the governor, simply for fulfilling their constitutional mandate. We appeal to His Excellency the President to urgently intervene and rein in rogue state operatives undermining democracy in the county, in Isiolo County. We demand the arrest of the governor and his associate for orchestrating multiple violent invasions of the county assembly, theft and the destruction of public property. We request urgent security guarantees of all MCAs to enable them to return home and resume their legislative duties without fear or intimidation.
Isiolo tumepata dhulma ya kwamba governor wetu ametuletea wakora wa Nairobi wote. Na sasa ukileta wakora wa Nairobi huko, Isiolo itakuwa yetu ama itakuwa ya watu wa Nairobi?
Tunalaani hiyo vitendo ya kiwahuni ambayo kwamba gavana ya Isiolo anafanya na wale ambayo kwamba wanamsupport yeye.
And now let's get sporty. The Task Force on National Sports Policy and Legislation Review has officially concluded its countrywide stakeholder engagement to reform Kenya's Sports Act, which has been in place since 2013. The final publication participation forum took place yesterday at Kasarani Stadium, capping weeks of dialogue with the Athletes Federation and the public in an exercise that was launched last month by the Sports Principal Secretary Elijah Mwangi.
We have been emphatic that nobody should be left behind, that there are no second-class citizens, that everybody must find a place within our sports ecosystem. We have also talked about the roles of schools and tertiary institutions. These really are the breeding grounds for where potential is identified.
And that brings us to the end of Younib TV News. At one, thank you for choosing Younib TV as your trusted source of news and information. On behalf of the entire newsroom here, I'm Cliffe Omondi, wishing you a peaceful afternoon ahead.